Hi, it's Tomato Tim with Organic Oasis, Northern California. It's now July 26th in 2025, and we're at the height of the tomato season, and I'm harvesting tomatoes every day or every other day. And so I just wanted to take you through the garden and show you a few that I'm harvesting today, and we'll keep giving you some information. Today I'm going to be harvesting indeterminate tomatoes from several different um, varieties. We're growing 32 varieties this year, and so not all of them have ripe tomatoes. So I'll be picking a couple baskets and showing you about them. The first one I'm going to be harvesting is the Cherokee Purple, and this has a couple really nice tomatoes on it that are just starting to get ripe. You want to go ahead and um, harvest these when they're starting to get soft. They can finish ripening in your kitchen and they won't lose any flavor, but you definitely want them to be soft before you harvest them. So here's another one that's starting to get soft, so I'll harvest this one too. So good start on for the day on the Cherokee Purple tomatoes. Then over here is an interesting um, tomato, which is the um, a giant tomato. And this one is the delicious variety, and it's 6 generations from a world record holder. So I just thought it would be fun to do that. This one is starting to ripen. It's not that huge. It's probably about a half a pound. Beautiful tomato, but just not that huge. One tip for harvesting and also for pruning tomatoes is before you switch from one tomato plant to another tomato plant, you should clean off your clippers. And we use just alcohol prep pads, and use that to wipe off our clippers in between going from one variety of tomato to another variety of tomato. So after doing that, this is a Pisano. Um, Tomato. It's a paste tomato, which means that it has very low seed content and water content. So it's really good for making a tomato paste, for example. Got beautiful sets of tomatoes here. It's ripening as tomatoes normally do from the bottom of the plant up on the plant. So I'm going to be harvesting some off of the bottom of the plant. Another tip is we have some rats in our yard, and we use tulle to wrap the tomatoes to make sure that the rats can't get to it. So I've been using that on these clusters to make sure that they don't get eaten by the rats. So we've got a couple beautiful ones here that are ripe, and so these other sets should ripen, and we should get some really good tomato paste out of this. So these are the Brandywine variety. So I've got a couple tomatoes here that I'm going to be harvesting. Again, this is a indeterminate, and thus I'm using um, the string trellising for it. So I'm harvesting a couple here. Isn't this just beautiful? This tomato variety is the San Marzano, and it's a famous paste tomato from Italy, often referred to as the best tomato for tomato sauce and paste. There are a few that are starting to ripen again from the bottom of the plant, and so I'm going to go ahead and take those. And I cleaned the shears in between doing this as I moved from one plant to the other, as I indicated. That keeps disease from spreading from plant to plant. So again, beautiful paste tomatoes. There are many more on the plant, and so as those ripen, we'll go ahead and harvest those as well. But very, very beautiful. This is a Beefmaster tomato, and it has one on here that's just starting to get soft, so I'm going to go ahead and harvest that one. You'll notice there are others here that are, this one's starting to turn color a little bit, so, but it's not softening yet, so I'll let this go a few more days before I harvest it. But again, just beautiful tomatoes. This variety is a Chef's Choice Red tomato, and it's award winning because it's known both for good yields as well as for really good flavor. So I've got one over here inside the plant a little bit. Again, just beautiful, just starting to soften. So again, perfect time to bring it inside and let it ripen a little bit more inside. Over here is Chef's Choice Yellow. Again, it's award-winning and part of the same line, but this one has the yellow meat and is beautiful. It's called a yellow because of the yellow meat. The um, tomato itself, this one's starting to ripen, as you can see, is more orange. But again, the meat is yellow, which is really beautiful. And here's Chef's Choice Pink. And again, the meat's a pinkish color, as is the tomato. So I've got a few of these in this cluster that are ripe and ready. And so I've got one more here. A small one, but here's a larger one. It has interesting green spots on it, which I love the different colors that they have. These are most of these varieties are heirloom tomatoes, and so these are all indeterminate tomatoes, and I'm string trellising them all. I also have some determinate tomatoes that I have in tomato cages, but I'll show a harvest there in a future video. This variety, again, an indeterminate variety, is the Better Boy. And there's a couple tomatoes here, one small one and one bigger one, that I'm going to harvest here. Isn't this just gorgeous? I just love the different colors and how bright they are. And they're absolutely delicious. Nothing like you can get at store-bought or even at most farmers markets. The homegrown are the way to go. One of my favorites of all the varieties that I grow are the Berkeley tie-dye tomatoes. These are the green Berkeley tie-dye. They're good tasting, and they're just absolutely phenomenally gorgeous from my perspective. Just look at the different colors it has on it, and what a beautiful heirloom tomato this is. And then there's a smaller one, again, starting to ripen over here, so I'll go ahead and harvest this one as well. So this was a little bit of my daily routine in the garden now. We're getting full production of the tomatoes as well as zucchinis and many other types of vegetables in the garden. And I'm glad that you were able to come into the garden and experience a little bit of it with me. If you get any value from this, please subscribe and do a thumbs up. We'd greatly appreciate it, and appreciate your support going forward. Thank you.